Just testing out some more things with the red purple Luffy today. I've took out the lead performer disasters for Miss Doublefinger. Both of them were kind of like a worst case scenario ramp option, and I kind of just forgot that this ramps. It's obviously really bad. You have to trash a card. Lead performer's much better, but this is a 2k, right? 2k is pretty good in this deck. So I've gone with two of those instead of the lead performer disaster. You only really wanted the disaster when you didn't have your other two. So I think this is fine. Other than that, I've took out one of the Shanks. I've added a third Kid. I think Kid is really important into the Dofi matchup in particular, but also into some other matchups where they're going sort of low with weak bodies. You run into Zoros, this is pretty good into them. I'm trying out two of this guy. I'm not sold on him yet, but I really like the card, and I think it's pretty cute into those matchups that are playing a lot of blockers. Unfortunately, wasn't able to show it off in the games I got here, but hey, it is what it is. Other than that, list much the same as my previous video. Check that out if you want to hear more about my decisions. One thing I will note is the ranked plugin was down last night. So I thought, oh okay, I'll record in the morning once they sort it out. It's also been down in the morning, so I've got to record at some point. Unfortunately, otherwise we're going to be missing one of these daily uploads. So these are not ranked games, I'm afraid. I did try and get some competitive decks though, and I think the players were pretty good. The Bonney player, I'm not going to lie, the Bonney player was cooking. They were cooking. Lucci just was a pretty close game too. And the Purple Black Luffy was probably the highlight game of this, despite that deck not necessarily being a top meta contender. Neither are we, right? We're not a top meta contender. We're like tier 1.5, tier 2. But either way, I really like this deck. I hope you do too. Let's get into the games. Okay, got a match into Lucci. They chose first. That hand's terrible. We at least get a ramp. Not too bad, not too bad. Probably just see an 8. Just a 6. Okay, well, we'll counter out that one while it's nice and easy. I don't have anything I want to trash, though. I want to keep the Bonclay. That's going to ramp us to 5, draw to 7. I think the Ben is good. I'll just give him the 2. And then, okay, he's playing the Uta. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we have to ramp up anyway. We don't really have a choice in that. So if we don't ramp up, we lose. He's going to be able to use the Uta to destroy our Bonclay. But it's like not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. We can remove it with the Beckman at least. If he has a Brook, he's in a really good spot here. And it does look like he's going to have the Brook. We'll take this first one here now. Shanks is good. Yep, there's the Uta. Here comes the Brook. Very nice. So the debate is obviously, do we bend the Uta or do we bend the Brook? I think it's the Uta, because we can't kill this in battle by leaders, which sucks. Yeah, I think we're just going to go 6 at life, get a 2 out of him. Then we'll bend the Uta. Tempest Kick, not going to be live yet this turn, so to remove this he basically needs Ice Age, or like a Hina. So I think removing the Uta is slightly better there. You can argue that one, though, for sure. I think that's more of a personal opinion than anything too crazy. Could have also gone with Kid this turn, but I do think getting rid of something with the Ben is good. We'll trash the Zala. Give him that. 6 Don. He did unfortunately have the Ice Age. That sucks a bit, but what can you do? And we're going to have to take this one. We're not in a good spot, I wouldn't say. We can ramp up. Now, I want to play Shanks, but it will take us down to 0, which is pretty bad. But maybe we have to do it. I think we should do it. If he just rams everything in, goes to 0, we can at least establish this Sanji as a blocker, which is fine. We'll just go with it. Go 6 into 3, get rid of the Brook, and get him down to 3. End the turn. Again, he can remove this. He just needs to see his events. That's how Lucci rolls. He's seen 2 events. Here's a Spandam, just drawing a Spandine, milling a Moria and a Uta. So probably not going to get removal on the Shanks, which is always nice. This Uta is hanging around. Here comes Hina as well. We've got lots of Gum Giants now. That's cool. Definitely going to go with Kid. Kid's really strong this turn. Use the card action. Turn 1. Buff the leader. Ramp back up. Now, I do want to remove this Uta. Uta is pretty annoying. If he wants to block with the Rebecca, he can. The fact that you can summon this back off Mori is actually really cute. I hadn't really even thought about that. But that is pretty cute. I'm thinking about establishing this. Because he's never going to defend a 7 into 4, right? And if we get the Zorojiro down, like, it's not the most threatening guy in the world, but it can attack into Uta, which is good, of course. His Mori is 8, we're 7, so the Mori is not even that threatening to us, which is quite good. It's going to be hard for him to decide what to remove, because there's no way he's going to remove Shanks and Kid. He can probably remove one or the other, but removing both is going to be challenging. It looks like he's going to go for Kid. He's a lot easier to remove the Kid. Gonna have to use a Suruf to do it, though. Unless he's got some crazy... What could he have in... No, this is just... Excuse me, this is just a Moria, right? No, this is 7 for Jack, I guess. And then he's gonna do 8 with Moria. We're gonna have to use the Gum Gum Giant. I'm gonna just give him the Sanji for now, though. Just give him the Sanji for now. I really don't want to go down to 0, so we are going to use the Gum Gum Giant. 1, 2. Trashing. What are the other kids? We're going to hope to draw something better. Rush Luffy's good. Resolve that there. And then this is going to be Jack. Yep. Nice. Remove the kid. It's decent, but I do think we're in a pretty strong spot here. He's got no blockers. We've got the Zorojiro to ramp up. So this is one of the rare times we're actually going to do this and return 2. Because the Zorojiro is going to ramp 1 back. Then we're going to attack 4. We're going to... Like, we'll do the ramp first. Do this ramp. So I really want this Uta gone. Do I want it gone enough to do 6 into 2? I think possibly not. I think I want it gone enough to just stick with the 4 into 2. If we get the counter now, it's going to be easier to remove these dudes. We do get the Uta gone. That is very nice. Now he's at 7. I think if we go 11 into the Jack, we should get the removal. He'd need to give us 2-2-1. Which is quite a lot, obviously. Very nice. Then we'll go 12 into 8. Try and clear the Moria. If he wants to save it, he can save it. We're going to go 7 into Face Skin down to 2. And he does. Gives us... Jack, a 6 King Pistol, and a Karku. Okay. I mean, we could do 8, but we wouldn't be leaving a Don up, so that's too risky. We'll just go 7 at face, get him down to 2. We're in a strong position here. We've got 3 guys. He can remove this Zorojiro very easily, of course. But he did his job. His job was to remove the Uta, and he did that. So I'm fine letting him go now. We've got 1 for the Gum Gum Giant. Gonna have to work out which of these I want to trash. Probably the Janbei, honestly. As much as Janbei is really good, I really kind of like the idea of playing out this Luffy. Okay, he's got an Ice Age, so he's still drawing pretty well. We'll resolve that, let him take that down. That's no problem. Here comes another Jack. Jack's going to clear the Luffy. And then he's got, what's this, 9? Well, that's perfect math for Gum Gum Giants. 1, 2. I think it's the Janbei. Buff this, resolve. Okay. So I do think getting this... We want to hold 1 up, right? Tough call. So if we go with the Luffy this turn, we might just win, actually. Yeah, I think we just win with Luffy. But yeah, so we're going to go 12 at face. Get a life out of him. He's got no blockers. Nika should win this turn. Use the card action. Send them all back. Turn those. Ramp up. Use the Nika effect. Attach. 7 on 5. Get 2 and 1 out of him. Or that. And there's the game. So well played to our opponent. We just were able to establish enough massive bodies that he couldn't deal with. There was that one turn, really, where we played out the Tenkos Shanks. And he had to just do a Moria. Could not deal with the Tenkos Shanks. And that won us the game. That Tenkos sticking around for the entire game was crazy. Just minusing down all his power. I do wonder if he could have potentially removed it instead of removing one of the other things. But I don't know, I didn't know what was in his hand. Hard to do the math when you don't know what they've got. Okay, we've got a Battle of the Luffys. He's going first. We do have a ramp, but we have no follow-up, and it is one of our weaker ramp options into this matchup. I would prefer Bonclay, but I think we'll just keep. Hopefully draw something for that 7 Don turn. Nothing there. This Luffy could be pretty strong into them, because they play a lot of blockers, right? They play a lot of Frankies and things like that. Okay, you just got the Maria for ramp, so that's nice for us. Does still get the ramp. Yep, you can't turn that sideways. I mean, you can, but there's not much point. So, yeah, we still don't have anything for the next turn, but that's okay. We'll just go 7 at life, get a life out of him. There's no way he's defending this. And then we'll play out the Zoroark. So, nice early aggression into the purple-black Luffy is pretty good. They can sometimes get run out of the game. And we're a decent leader to do it to them. We're going to draw to 6, we're going to ramp it to 7. We'll just hopefully get something better to do than Queen. Queen is fine, but I would prefer something else, of course. But if it has to be Queen, it has to be Queen. We can then transition into the Newgate still on that next turn, which is fine. We're going to be taking that one. No trigger there. Nami can't really get us anything good off the search, but I might play her out just to grab a 2, because we don't have a 2 currently. We'll attack in 5 with the Zoroark. Ramp up 1. He's just going to give us the 1k there. How much do we want to play the Nami? I would like to see a 2k. I would like to see a 2k. We can maybe Queen into 1. He's not going to be playing any triggers. We'll go with the Queen first. Use the card action. Send 1 back. Ben is decent. Don't know if we're going to need double Newgate or double Luffy. I think the double Luffy is likely better, so we'll get rid of one of the Newgates. We still don't have a 2k. I think I will play this out, try and find one. We still don't find one, but what can you do about that? We'll just grab the blocker. Then we'll attack in 6, probably get a 2k out of him. I don't expect he to take this one, it'd be a little interesting. Would sort of signify to me that he doesn't have any. And he does have one, so that's fine. Next turn we've got some decent options. We've got the Rush Luffy, we've got the Newgates. We can also just do Ben and keep a Don up for the Gum Gum Giant, which is also decent. He's going to go with the Frankie blocker, seems reasonable to me. I do think this Luffy, if we can get it out, is going to be really nice. Thought I would have loved something that wasn't Queen on that turn, because then we would be still at 7, going to 9, ramp to 10, and we could play this out next turn. But as it stands, we can't, unfortunately. Gonna have to pick an opportune moment to do this. Just gonna have to see how the game pans out, really. He's a lot of ramp, wow. He has a lot of ramp. Can be interesting to see if he goes 5-7 and tries to clear the Zoroark, or just piles like 6-6 at life. That will be interesting. Gonna go 5. I think I'm just gonna tap this, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna tap that. He wants to hold one up for the Gum Gum Giant. So by doing this, we directed this into the Zoroark rather than into life. Obviously, I'm going to let the Zoroark die. We don't need him at all. We're going to ramp up 1. So the biggest threat on the board right now is this Bonclay. If we don't deal with it before playing our big characters, we're going to be in a pickle. So I think what I'm going to do here is play out the Bentham. Sorry, the Beckman. Too many bear characters. But yeah, I'm going to play out the Beckman to clear the Bonclay. Might swing with the Queen. I think we'll go 7 into the Roronoa Zoro and see what happens. He clearly has Gum Gum Giant. Not sure if he'd want to expend it to defend this character. It's not the scariest character. But you never know, he might want to, We'll just see what he goes with. Very smart of him to establish this Bonclay on this turn. Because as well as guaranteeing he gets 10, It also is just really scary into us, because we're all about playing big dudes, right? We're all about playing big dudes. It gives us a Beppis off the Gum Gum Giant. That is interesting. That sort of signals to me that these two cards are really good cards, not necessarily counter cards. So I think I will attack 6 with the Queen. It gives us a 2. Okay. Then we'll just go with the Beckman, remove the Bon Clay, end the turn. It's just one of those. I could have gone with the Newgates, but the fact that we wouldn't get to keep one done up made me want to not go with the Newgates. He's going to go with the Zorro. Okay, that's fine, but it does cost him a card. Only one Don. 9 for Rush Luffy. Okay, Rush Luffy is strong. He's not going to be able to attack with these. He just gets one attack with the Luffy. Which I think is pretty good for us, actually. How many 2s has he given us? He's given us 1, 2, 3, and 4 with this one on the board. So yeah, we're in a decent spot, you know? We are in a decent spot. Yep, not defending Queen. Not for that much. Not for that much. Tempted to play out the 9-cost Luffy. 9-cost Newgate, also very strong. I do want to continue to tax cards out of him. We could go with this turn, but our counter is a little lacking. We are at 2 life, which is not the worst. Let's go 6 at face, see what he does with that. Okay, gives us a 2. He's got to be low on 2s. That's what, 5 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They play like max 12, right? I'm really tempted to go with this and just say you don't have it. And if he blocks, we get rid of like a Zorro and the Frankie still. It's not correct though. It's not correct. We go with the Rush Luffy. We go with the Rush Luffy. Turn, no optional. Ramp one back. Then we're going to go... I'm going to demand the block or a 2. There's no way he's got another 2. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. He might have it. He might have it. It just gives us the block. That's fine. We'll do 7 into 5, get him down to 2. We've got 1 up for Gum Gum Giant. We're in a pretty decent spot here. I don't mind taking 1 swing from this Rush Luffy. Next turn, maybe this turn would have been a good Newgate turn, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think this was fine. I do think this was fine. He needs to just take this. There's no way you're countering this, sir. You give me every card in your hand to stay at 3, that would be just hard trolling. I do tend to find this is quite an interesting matchup. I really like the purple-black Luffy. I think it's a very fun deck. I'm just not convinced it's a very good deck, unfortunately. I mean, watch me get whipped by it here, coming up next, but... yeah. I'm just not convinced this is the best purple Luffy deck. I think the mono purple Luffy is definitely the strongest. It's just so consistent at going wide in that early game. And the early game so often wins you games, the early and mid game, just because, like I say, it gives you an easier path into the late game. And red purple Luffy has almost an unrivaled late game, but yeah, we're not letting that go through. You can have a Zorojuro, sir. Yeah, RP Luffy has like an almost unrivaled late game, but our early game is very weak. We're ramping and maybe playing out of Ben. I mean, Ben's good, but you know, he can only get you so far. We'll give the Onami here. 8 Don for Moria, maybe? Maybe 8 for Moria? Yeah, 8 for Moria. Seems good. Frankie coming down, probably. There he is. There is Frankie. And then we'll see a Shiki blocker as well. Okay, that's fine. So now he's going to have the choice of either attacking 6 and not holding 1 up. Attacking 11 into Ben. He's got a lot of different options. If he wants to hold one up, he can only do 10 into Ben, and we can defend. We will defend that with the Gum Gum. Yep, gives all that. Seems good to me. It plays a Law. Wow, didn't expect. I mean, that is an option. It wasn't one I was thinking of. Grabs a Ramp Zorojuro. Interestingly, he plays this. You don't often see this in Purple Black. This is going into Ben. I think this should be going into Life, honestly, because we just get max value out of the Gum Gum. We'll return 2. Trashing. I really want to try this, but, like, I just don't think it's the play. I just don't think it's the play. So we'll get rid of him. Buff the Ben. Resolve. And then that's it for his turn. Shanks is strong. Shanks is strong, but we wouldn't be able to hold one up for Gum Gum. We'll go 6 into Zoro. You can't imagine he's going to keep this. He's in a lot of 2s now. What was it, 6 we're up to? Yeah, we're up to... No, 5. 5. He does have another one. Wow, interesting. And he did play over the Shiki blocker, so I don't need to turn my Nami sideways. It's either Nugate or Luffy, right? It's Nugate or Luffy. It's Nugate or Luffy. I think we're going to do this. Remove this Zoro. Get him out of here. Yeah, as much as I really like getting the Shanks down, I don't think this is the turn. Maybe it is, though. We'd get a decent shot at the Luffy. Got a decent bit of counter. This could be the turn for Shanks. I don't mind going down to 1. We'll see what he does with this. He should just let this go. You definitely don't want to block. And I don't think you want to give 2-1 either. That would be a little crazy. This might be the Shanks turn, actually. This might be the Shanks turn now, because we can get rid of the blocker. And maybe get the removal on the Luffy. But if we don't get the removal on the Luffy, we are in a spot. We are in a spot. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I think the Nugate is also good this turn. I'm going to go with the Nugate, I think. And I'm not going to attack the Luffy. If that's the case. I'm going to attack the face. And then play out the Nugates. So definitely slight missequencing here, but it is what it is. Yep, he just takes... Could just go with another Luffy of our own as well. Push the pace, get rid of the Frankie. We've got a lot of counter, we've got a Gum Gum. We are in a reasonable position to go for game next turn. He's not going to be able to go for game this turn. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to go with another Luffy. Yeah, I'm going to go with another Luffy. Turn no optional. We get another 2k as well, which is really good. Then we'll just go 11 at face. Get this Frankie off the board. He's not going to go to 0. There's no way. Wow. He did go to 0. Interesting. We don't currently have Usahachi. I sure hope we see one off this Gum Gum Giant. Because I really want to punish this, but we just can't currently. We currently just can't. Interesting. Well, let's see what he chooses to do. Taking there really sort of shouts game at me. It shouts that he's going for game, but I just don't see how he's going to do it. Even obviously he doesn't know what we've got. He sees 1 up. He sees 8 cards in hand. He can't think that he can win from here. There's no way. There's no way he thinks he can win. Oh, we're obviously not letting that go through. We'll give him the Bon Clay. 9 into 6 is a grief one. Because we can just Gum Gum out of this. Guess if he has Nika, right? If he has Nika... I mean, he can't play Nika because he's on 9. I think we take this one, actually. Yeah, we take this one because if we defend that one, he can go board. And we don't want him to go board, obviously. We really need to see that Uso Hachi. We do now have a Nami to be able to search for it, potentially. So that's good. 10 into 6. This would be 11, or then it would be 14. I don't think we can... I think we should take this. I think that would be a little crazy. Let's go with the Gum Giant. Turn 2. Trashing. Newgate. Buff Leader. There's the Hachi. Okay, so we don't need the Nami now. The Nami is worthless. We've got the Usahachi. He's got 9 Rush Luffy, maybe? But, like, it's not going to win. I don't really know what he was going for this turn. Unless this was supposed to be Nika and he just forgot that he can't put 1 on the leader. That is possible. But either way, he'd go back to... He'd have 10. We can get out of a 10, no problem at all. In fact, we have 8... We have 11k counter. That is wild. That's wild. That is a crazy amount of counter. Look at this. Just another Moria. Okay. He's a blocker gaming. He's blocker gaming. Maybe I should have kept the Nami. Hey, what can you do? Well, it doesn't really matter how big our initial swings are, because he's not getting any extra cards. So we don't have to play around anything silly. Oh, okay, he plays this. Grad does have a Gum Giant. Well, we know that now. Let's go 10 at life. We know he used a lot of 2s in the early game. He could have some more by now, but I really doubt he has 3. 3 is a lot. He could have it. He could have 3. But, yeah, I just think there's a good chance that he doesn't. Yep, we'll see what he goes for here. We're waiting while he's thinking. 8 is the worst number we can possibly do because Gum exists. Once he blocks with one of these Frankies, I will rest the other. I'm not going to reveal the Usahachi until he gets rid of one of them. For obvious reasons, I think. We don't want to give him the knowledge. We don't want to make his maths any easier. He doesn't know if we have it. He doesn't know if we have 2. I think he should probably just block this, but... It's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. Looks like he might be going... Oh, wow, he did have 3 2s. No, wow, 2 2s and a 1. Well, we know this is Gum Giant. So we can just swing 7. And then that guaranteed eats the Giant or the blocker. And if we can get a Giant out for just a 7, no Don invested, that's really good. That is really good. He made that easier for us, I think, than he should have. He should have definitely used the Giant and given like a 2 there. If he had it, which he did. Because we don't know what this last card is. We know this card is Giant. If he wants to use it here, okay. That's interesting. Well, any 9 we do now is going to go through. So we can just go 10 with Luffy. He has to block. We go with the Hachi. Rest this. Pile all the Don on. And attack him for game. Well played to our opponent. That was a pretty close one. He drew 2k off the Gum, so I don't think he was going to win anyway. But yeah, definitely used strange ending. But yeah, the mid game was really quite good. I think we played pretty well. Disappointed that we didn't really get a turn to play this. I think if we'd had a better play on that 7 than Queen, this would have actually been insane throughout the game. Especially comboed with the Shanks. But unfortunately, it just didn't pan out that way. We didn't draw Ben. We didn't draw anything like another ramp card. We just had Queen. That was it. But either way, we managed to get the win. Well played to our opponent, and let's move on. If you've made it this far in the video, consider subscribing for more Red Purple Luffy action. Got a game up against Bonney. I'm going to choose to go first. We don't get our Zoro Juro, but the rest of this curve is looking pretty good. We've got Bon Clay into Bentham. So I think I'll keep this. I think I will keep this. We've got nothing on 1. Yeah, obviously if we get the Zoro Juro on 3, it'd be even better. But we don't. That's fine. We'll just attack in for 9, get a life out of Bonney. Also, pretty interesting they had no searches. That's kind of crazy. Usually they at least play out a searcher, even if they... Do you want to counter this? No, I don't think we do. I don't think we ever want to counter the first hit from Bonney. And there is a baby 5. Yeah, like I say, it's a little unfortunate that we didn't get anything on that first turn. Because we'd been able to deal with this baby 5 a little easier. But that's okay. We'll just go 6 into the baby 5. I'm not going to let her chain these. Luffy chaining especially is probably how they're going to win the game, 9 times out of 10. We're going to drop the Bon Clay. May as well drop the Nami. Might get something good. Rush Luffy's probably better than Zorojiro, so we'll just grab that. And then the turn, 1 up. So he's just gone with a Cavendish and a 7. I think I will counter out of this one, while it's relatively easy to do so. We've got the Beckman, which can move this Cavendish. Very nice, very nice. I will ramp up, because we may as well. Can't really make much use of this Don, unfortunately. Unless we want to not do the Beckman, but I really do think getting rid of this Cavendish as soon as possible is going to be the best path. So I think we'll just swing 7 with the leader. He'll take rest of the Bon Clay, unfortunately. We're not going to get any value out of him. If we were a normal 5,000 power leader, okay, he's countering the 7 on 4 life. Bonney doesn't usually do that. That's interesting. But either way, we're going to go with this Beckman, get rid of the Cavendish, and end the turn. Maybe I should have attacked 8, but I guess we should have attacked 8, but yeah, I really didn't expect Bonney to counter that one. That was a little strange. Gonna go with the Hody Jones as well. Wow, I mean, yeah, you get the Bon Clay, that's for sure. Where's this 9 going? It's 8 into 6. Yeah, we'll have to take that one. No trigger. We don't have a lot of counter. We really don't have a lot of counter. So I think the play here is gonna be rush in with this Luffy to draw a card, and use this Nami to also draw a card. If we need to hold 1 up for Gum Gum Giants. So I think we're going to have to let her rest one of these 2 units, because I do want to attack the Luffy into the Hody first. We're going to go with that. Turn 1. Return no optional. Or just a Bon Clay. Okay. Not great. Well, let's ramp 1 up. Then we'll attack 10 into 8. We'll probably defend this if he can, but yeah, we're really low on counter. It's getting a little iffy. Looking a little iffy. Hopefully he doesn't save this. That would be amazing. But yeah, it's a little spooky. Really looking for a... Okay, what did he trash? He trashed a Carrot and a 0 cost. Really looking for a Gum Gum Giant here. And we do get one. We're unfortunately sending 1 and 2 2s to the bottom. It's not great. But it is what it is. It's what we've got. Unfortunately. We're going to have to counter out of this one. We don't even have a 2k to give him, so we're going to have to give him this. 1, 2. We'll trash one of these Nougates. Buff leader. Resolve. That's nice. Got a good bit of counter there. Luffy, little unfortunate, but what can you do? What can you do? Not a lot is the answer to that. We've got choices here. But I think the correct choice is we need a blocker. We do need a blocker, at least. So, I think we're going Queen and Onami this turn. Here's another Hody. We get turbo punished by that, though. Maybe we just go Queen and attack into this 10 on 8. Get another 2 cards. I think that's... We can even go 11, right? Because the Queen's going to do Don -1 and we can restand it. Yeah, we'll do 11 into the Hody. Hopefully get the kill on this. Doesn't look like she had a lot of 2s, given the fact she was giving us 0 costs. Gonna give us 3 cards, though. Well, if she gets us here, she gets us here, but, you know, hoping not, obviously. I think I'll go with the Queen now. Choose the card action, send 1 back. Ooh, that's not good. We'll trash one of these. Ramp up. We're in a bad spot. we're in a very bad spot. Especially if she has another Hody. But in general, we're just in a bad spot. If she had Hody, she would have done it first. So I'm going to assume she doesn't. And we'll counter out this one. We'll give no blocker. We'll give the Zorojiro. And the Sanji 2K. We might have to go to 0 here, which I really don't like. 10-6. We can either block or take. If we block, there's a decent chance it's just another Dofi. And that's probably preferable for us. So I think I'll just block. If she wants to swing in big, yeah, just another Dofi. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's not good either, but it is what it is, right? So what's the best course of action? I don't know. It's not looking too hot. We can drop the Shanks, but we just don't have a lot of counter. We drop the Shanks, we remove the Dofi. Might be to drop the Newgate. No, I think we're cooked here. I think we're cooked actually. And I don't really know what I should have done better. Is my honest answer. Guess maybe we go with this and hope to draw another blocker. We'll trash one of the Shanks. And we don't get another blocker. Yeah, there's nothing to do here really, is there? I guess we can attack into life with the Nami. But yeah, this is not looking good. Not looking good at all. If this life is a Gum Gum Giant, we probably still lose, but maybe there's a chance. We have to go no blocker on that. We give the 2 and the 1. If she has a third Dofi just naturally, that would be pretty brutal. We can't counter this. Really bad. Really bad. Gonna block. Yeah, it's not good, is it? No, that's gonna be the game. Well played to our opponent. I'm not really sure where I went wrong there. Unless... is this just a third Dofi? Bruh. How do you draw 3 Dofis, man, with no search? That's crazy. Oh dear, well yeah, we have I'll be honest, I think 9 decks out of 10 would lose into Hody into triple Dofi. That's just one of those games. GG's to our opponent, and let's move on. So let me know what you thought of those. Let me know what I could have done better against the Bonney. That Bonney cooked me, I'm not going to lie. I just got cooked. What can you say? They played well. They drew all the Dofis, and we didn't really have an answer into it. I guess it is really tough being that 3 life leader when their attacks are just 10. It's not a good number for us. And yeah, really tough to deal with. But either way, if you notice something I could have done better in that matchup, please let me know. I'm really at a loss for what I should have done, so if you've got an idea, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.